Hey brothers and sisters, Kameron here. What's up? I hope your day is going well. I'm trying to get this adjusted. So, a text message just came in. I need to put this in airplane mode. If you are watching this now and you haven't seen the previous episode where, wow, that's like really, oh, that makes me, okay, we're just gonna have to do that. We're just gonna have to go with it. If you haven't seen this, I'll put a link in the description so you can skip this intro and go straight to the video, part 2. But if you haven't seen part 1, that's on my previous vlog. I'm going to have a link at the end of this video and in the description so you can go check it out, where I, myself, and 12 other ex-Jehovah's Witnesses got together in Sacramento, and we talked to national Chief Investigative Reporter Mark Albert with Hearst Media, and they investigated the Jehovah's Witnesses. So the second episode picks up where the other one ends up off, where they go and ask Jehovah's Witness headquarters in Newark, like, what do you think about this testimony that these 13 people say, with all their stories different but similar, and having similar things from the elders, like not doing shit and telling them that sexual abuse is left in God's hands and don't speak about it, which is super, super evil. Hold on. Can you see me better here? Yeah. So, if you haven't seen that, go watch that first. And then this one picks up with Alexis Nunez, where Miss Nunez, she won the second biggest heavy-hitting case. The first one was Candace Connie, who's actually I was with and interviewed with in the previous video, that won the first case against Jehovah's Witnesses for sexual abuse. Because what they do and this is not just Jehovah's Witnesses, with Catholics, Mormons, and I've said this many times in my vlogs, but I don't know if it's your first time watching, but police organizations and all that can hide sexual abuse under something called penitent privilege, where they claim penitent privilege and privacy, and religions frame it in the frame of religious freedom, but it has nothing to do with that. It's about letting victims speak and becoming survivors and moving on to the next step of their life, and the church actually doing something to protect people, and they're not doing shit. So that's where this video picks up. I hope you watch it. And stay tuned to the end of this video. I still have a few more words to say. I'm trying to look at the camera because I'm filming on my phone. And if you haven't noticed already, I'm filming on my phone. Normally in most of my vlogs, I'm filming on my DSLR. However, that broke, and the computer that I was editing on broke as well in the last couple of months. So I'm running a GoFundMe. I'm working very hard to go out as an XJW legend in the XJW community. I want people flying from all over the world to come to my funeral, because they knew that I swung my best shots, and I swung until the day I died. That's my plan currently, is just to keep going, and do as much as I can. And one of the areas of being an XJW myself that I found out, besides vlogging and activism, is getting involved in law. So SB 360 is a bill that we started to expose this penitent privilege that all organizations, religions especially, don't have to report child abuse or any kind of abuse, especially sexual abuse, like claiming penitent privilege. We see that. We say it's bullshit. Let's do something about it. And we've had a lot of awesome success and a lot of opposition from churches while doing it. So if you haven't seen those vlogs, I'll try to link those at the end of the video too. Please check them out. They're hella cool. They're really dope. But anyway, back to what I was saying is my camera's broke. I'm shooting on my film. I'm editing on my phone. I'm doing what I can to keep the vlogs going. But if you've seen any of my vlogs, or you think my work has helped you, or anyone, if you've seen 5 to 10 of my vlogs, if any of my work has helped you, please donate to my GoFundMe. I think I'm in a position to finally ask for help, because I did 3 years of vlogs for free. All $19 I got of ad revenue, you can't even take out of YouTube until you reach 100. I never got that high. And all of our videos get demonetized. All other ex-JW activists or any ex-Mormon activists know the same thing, because your videos get demonetized because you're saying the words cult, sex abuse, Christian, like all that stuff is immediately demonetized. So I'm doing this out of a strict passion, and I'm trying to give as much as I can back to you guys, the community, because you fucking deserve it. And we were all force-fed low self-esteem by these religions that are designed to control us. Christianity, in my opinion, is designed to do that in the beginning. Whether you agree with that or not, I'll be coming out with videos explaining that viewpoint later, because it was a new revelation for me in the last probably 6 months to a year, realizing that and linking the two, like, holy shit. And being able to identify that problem has allowed me to grow, as well as getting involved in activism and work. Everyone grows at different rates. Check out the video, and I hope you like it. I will see you again in a few minutes.
Inside this courthouse in Thompson Falls, Montana, the Jehovah's Witnesses Church in September suffered its greatest court defeat ever in a U.S. child sex abuse case. And Dan Stinnett helped bring down Lady Justice's hammer.
Everybody agreed that They were guilty.
Stinnett, in his first interview about the case, explained how he and 8 other Sanders County jurors found the Jehovah's Witnesses governing organizations negligent and guilty of malice in the child sexual abuse of Alexis Nunez, awarding her $35 million. Through her Texas-based attorney, Neil Smith, Nunez declined an interview request because the church has appealed.
I believe they were trying to cover it up, yes. I have no doubt about that.
Were you trying to send a message?
Well, absolutely. We as jurors and as society really don't condone what goes on in any of this.
The Jehovah's Witnesses organization, which goes by several names, including Watchtower Bible and Tract Society and the Christian Congregation, and is headquartered northwest of New York City, has fought and settled cases coast to coast.
I'm a survivor.
Candace Conti, though, refused to settle and went to trial, and a California jury awarded her $28 million, the largest verdict against the organization at the time. Conti joined 12 others who say they were abused for a town hall with us in California.
What was that moment like?
There's a strange validation that came from that. Having the jury not only say that they believe you, that they know that this happened, but that the organization was in the wrong in the first place. And I am so sorry to everyone behind me and to everybody who's fighting right now. I wish above all else that they could have that same validation that I did. I really do.
Conti says she went to the elders, her congregation's leadership, to urge them to set Megan's Law alerts for automatic notices when convicted child molesters move into a new congregation, and to give leadership in the new area a photo of the person.
What I wanted was to help fill this gap in their policies and their procedures to help ensure that this isn't going to happen to somebody else. They wouldn't even listen to my idea.
An appeals court later slashed Conti's award amount dramatically after finding under state law the Jehovah's Witnesses had no duty to warn the congregation about confessed or convicted child molesters. The governing body of the organization and its spokesperson declined to do an on-camera interview with us about the Conti case or its policies in general. Instead, in a statement, they said, Jehovah's Witnesses abhor child abuse as a sin and crime. Our policies on child protection comply with the law, including any requirements for elders to report allegations of child abuse to authorities. Our organization will continue to promote child protection education for parents. Lawmakers have taken notice, moving bills forward in California, Pennsylvania, New York, and other states that would require clergy of all faiths to report allegations of abuse, add training, or extend the statute of limitations for victims to come forward.
How should they be held accountable, do you believe?
For Dan Stinnett, the juror in Montana who found the Jehovah's Witnesses negligent for failing to protect Lexi Nunez, justice may be blind, but his creator is not.
I believe they're going to be judged, and I believe it's going to be harsh. Judgment's coming, and it's coming on people just like those that violated these girls.
In Washington, I'm Chief National Investigative Correspondent Mark Albert.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that. That was really dope. Really crazy work that Mark Albert is doing with Hearst Media. Going in, he interviewed Zalkin. In the last one about it blew my mind. There's another company called Reveal News where they've been following around the Jehovah's Witnesses for a long time. Where one of the guys actually runs into Anthony Morris. There's a podcast. I'll try to link that in the description. It's like an hour long. I listened to it while I was on the treadmill at the gym. Amazing podcast. It actually brought a tear to my eye about halfway through. Just really emotional. Brought back a lot of emotions and memories about life and what's going on in my past life. So this is really cool, and I'm taking every shot that I can at Watchtower while I'm woke and trying to give back as much as I can to the community, because we need together as a group to spread this around, share it, bring as much attention to this, because a lot of people still don't have any idea that the Jehovah's Witnesses are 10 times worse than the Catholics with child sexual abuse. I had a conversation with another activist, Barbara Anderson, earlier this year over the phone. Actually, I'm hoping to do a phone interview with her too, like over the phone, record it and put it, or like face to face, like on Skype or something. But she told me there's actual rings, just like in the Catholics, how they mark boys so that the other church leaders know that they can have their way with them. They do the same thing with children and Jehovah's Witnesses. It's really fucking disgusting, and it makes my blood boil. It makes me want to I just feel the pain and the anger inside of me that every other victim would and has been through would understand, because it's not right. It's basically a sex slave ring that they're doing. It's a pedophile cult / doomsday cult that was created and they don't abhor child abuse. They exploit the fuck out of it, and we're exposing them with, I love the first episode. If you haven't seen it again, go watch it. But it talks about how they looked up the records from, a couple of decades ago, saying hide these child abuse files. We have all these files. There's a train going by me right now. Hopefully you can hear me. Hide all these files, and then attorney Zalkin was able to get his hands on it, but he can't talk about it because of a court order that they came up with, and they flat out refused, which is in that podcast. They refused to comply with the Supreme Court. That's how evil these fuckers are. So, I have more episodes, and I have links to the actual pages. The reason why I'm uploading these on YouTube is because a lot of people from Canada and Brazil, and they can't see it. Australia, they can't see this, because it was national news in United States. So I'm releasing it here on YouTube so more people can see it. It can make more of an impact and bring more attention. But please, if you can, go to those news linked sites. I have them linked in the description. They have more follow-up interviews with Zalkin, Roger from Scars, and then some more in-depth interviews, even on the next one. There's some really cool, and they have the files and the letters that they sent and the PDFs, all proof for you to see. So brothers and sisters, I hope that your day is going really well. I just had a bunch of coffee, as you can tell I'm fucking awake. I hope you're killing it, you're crushing it, you're gaining your self-esteem back, you're gaining back who you are, and finding a new purpose in life, multiple passions, because life is so good outside of the executive world. And you find out how awesome it is. It's still a scary world, no denying that. But there's enormously, I would say, much more good than there is evil, even though there's a fuck ton of evil. Most people are good people. And I'm excited to talk about it in the next upcoming episodes, some fashion stuff, because people have been asking me about that on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I have behind-the-scenes videos of all those interviews and video clips and snippets on there. Follow me there, send me a message. I usually answer questions. It takes me a few weeks, but sometimes I make a video if I get asked the question enough times to be able to help a bigger, broader audience. Instead of answering one person, I can share it with a bunch of people. Especially with finding yourself and self-esteem. I love those messages, because it's what I'm all about, is regaining yourself as a human being back, because we were treated like robots and turned into robots, and we're not. We're individuals that have a purpose, and if you're out, you have a lot of resiliency. It takes a lot to wake up from bullshit. Anyway, brothers and sisters, I love you all. Leave a comment down below. Please share this. Find me on Facebook, find me on Instagram. Subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you in the next video.